Hi, I'm Taylor Wyatt, better known as Y-Boy online. Me and my buddy Nero Angeles watch a ton of movie trailers, and now we're trailer reactors and reviewers for FilmBook. Today we'll be watching, reacting, and reviewing Mute. Let's watch some stuff.
Do you know what it is to make your dreams come true, Leo? I've seen you working downstairs. You're a good man. This barman should not punch the fucking customers.
I don't deserve you, Leo.
I love you so much, but you don't know me.
I want to know what the deal is with this crazy bartender.
Sure you want our help with this?
This kind of thing hurts my reputation.
Daddy's gotta go. Oh, no soda.
Your girlfriend has secrets. You lost, mate? Take a hint and fuck off.
Not very talkative.
Something's going on. You need to maintain a sense of humor, babe. You gonna give me some trouble, big boy? Or are you gonna channel that famous Amish serenity?
Leo, I need to tell you something.
This is gonna stop right now. It ain't a secret anymore.
Putting money on her right now, she's an android.
Do anything for her?
They are showing androids a lot in this.
Fucking say it!
Why the hell can't he talk?
He doesn't need words.
Mute. Okay.
Very, was it Blade Runner?
Yeah, it was feeling very Blade Runner to me. Like, I was just looking at the poster for Mute, and I was just feeling like it's gonna be very art house, very sort of like aesthetics driven in a sense, and it feels like that's what the movie's going for.
It's said to be described as a science fiction mystery thriller, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm putting money. She's a droid. That's gonna be the thing. She's gonna be like an android that has like self-awareness, or she's like maybe fully has replaced cybernetics or something to that effect.
Yeah, I would guess that as well. It's just though, I feel like that this could be very interesting, especially from the bartender who's the mute sort of perspective and such, because we don't really have sort of main characters who are mute, because like obviously from a writing perspective you need the main character to talk to basically be able to have them speak their dialogue so that they can more easily characterize themselves. So
it's
now,
funny. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt
yeah, no
you,
worries.
sorry.
So now we'll have to have the main character characterize themselves through their actions and such, through like facial expressions and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be interesting to see when like Mute comes out.
It's funny because this says Paul Rudd, Ant-Man,
Yeah.
in this, with a hilariously weird-looking porn stash.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you mentioned, like, you know, there aren't like good prominent mute characters. They just did Inhumans for Marvel, and the leader of the Inhumans, their king, is a character called Blackagar Boltagon, whose defining trait is he has to stay quiet. He has to basically be a mute, because the sound he can emit with his mouth is so powerful that an utterance of a syllable could level a city.
Yeah, right.
And they botch it so bad because they make him and his royal family basically a bunch of horribly racist, inbred scumbags.
Oh, God.
And it's funny, you're like, we need more prominent respect for, like, maybe like a mute character, and it's like, you think about it, it's like...
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of Hardcore Henry. It was a film, and I think its selling point is like it's like the first ever first person film, so it's shot like through the eyes of Henry.
Yeah, I've seen that. Or I've seen a trailer of that at least. Yeah.
I watched it with my friend Orion Blind. You could find him on Facebook. You can find him on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description below for him. But he and I had watched it together, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I remember my takeaway was like, it's a cool visual movie. You know, it's a fun, cool visual film.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be interested in watching this. I'm pretty certain I guessed the twist already, that she's probably a droid.
Yeah, I just feel my biggest worry for the film is because the trailer was focusing so much on like these other characters and not on the actual bartender.
Yeah, not on the actual main character who's mute. It's like, you know, let's use Paul Rudd to sell it, I guess, because he's very popular. He's in the Marvel pictures. Alexander Skarsgård, he's from the illustrious Skarsgård family. His brother, Bill, just played Pennywise.
Yeah, so I feel that he's going to be able to really carry the mute role, but I would just like to have seen more of that in this trailer. Because it just sort of makes the story feel a little bit more nebulous, in a sense.
Well, playing characters with handicaps, you need to establish their vulnerability of what it is being handicapped. So like him, like, you know, maybe doing sign language and stuff like that, that would have helped. And because he doesn't talk, though, that means he has to sell his performance strictly on body language.
Yeah, and that is easier said than done.
It's much easier said than done. A prime example of good body language in a film where a character doesn't really talk to me is WALL-E.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't really talk. He basically just kind of says his name. Same thing with Groot. Groot, it's all about the inflection of the phrase "I am Groot," as well as the body language that Vin Diesel brings to the role of our little tree.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, like you said, it's like Alexander Skarsgård's supposed to be the lead character in this, and he feels like a thumbnail,
yeah,
like a side note in a trailer where it's like, oh well, wait, he's the main character, but it's like,
yeah,
you know, you show the girl with the blue hair and you show Paul Rudd, and it's like, oh, I thought this was like about Alexander Skarsgård's character, and all we know, it's like he was a bartender, he got into a fight. My guess is throat got slit, became a mute. Then he meets a girl that's a droid.
Yeah, like if we hadn't read the Wikipedia page, would you have known if he was actually mute?
My takeaway would be at the end when it says mute. I know somebody would have to be mute then.
Yeah.
But because the trailer's like, well, it doesn't show him talking in the trailer. It doesn't show him really doing too much of anything in the trailer, though. So, I mean, I'd have to go by process of elimination where it's like, well, it's not Paul Rudd, because he clearly won't shut up. So, I guess Alexander Skarsgård must be the mute character.
Yeah. Or you could just say that it's just like mute as in thematics of it.
Yeah, I hate films that are like pretentiously up their own butt.
Yeah.
Like, we're deeper than you understand, and it's like, no, stop it. They did that crap with like Man of Steel where it's like, you don't understand how deep in it is. It's like man's connection to God. No, it's like somebody cracked out like Baby's first theology book and that was it.
Yeah.
Admittedly, this has potential. I am concerned that the idea of like the setting feels like it's going to take precedent over
like the character.
This could be an interesting story about a mute guy going into a relationship and how that relationship connects. You know, there could be something to that. And then it's like, but it's like in Blade Runner. It's like, oh, why does it feel like that's going to take precedent over this?
Yeah, that's another one of my biggest worries. Like, if it's the story about a mute guy basically trying to find his girl and all that, like that would be a much more interesting story than just like the sci-fi setting that we've seen thus far.
And also, I'm kind of sick of sci-fi stuff where it's like it all looks the same.
Yeah.
Everything's like, well, Blade Runner did it, so we want it to look like Blade Runner. Dude, try and conceive your own identity for future, like, what the visuals can be. Stop writing one mediocre movie that existed in, like, the 80s.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit fair to say that because probably, like, a lot of people haven't seen Blade Runner in, like, so long and
They
such.
just made a sequel!
Okay, then I can't be fair, I guess.
Like, they just had a sequel last year. I believe it had to be last year.
Yeah,
it had to be last year. It's like, I don't think it came out in January, so it had to be like last year. They did like a Blade Runner sequel.
Yeah.
And, hell, Ghost in the Shell was last year, which is also inspired by Blade Runner.
So, yeah, just another sort of Blade Runner sort of future. We'll see if there's any sort of, like, differences and such, like, when the actual, like, movie's released on Netflix, but I think this probably would be something that I would probably watch with, like, maybe my family and all that, just sort of like as a movie night sort of thing.
Yeah, if you wanna sit down and we maybe give it a shot, we could always do it.
Yeah.
And maybe talk about it on our own personal channel if people are interested. But as is, it's like right now, I guess I'll just wait, see if it comes out, and then if, you and I can pop it on.
Yeah, just hear if it's actually, like, good quality.
I am fascinated because the guy who is directing it also did the screenplay and also conceived the story of it. So I've always been fascinated where it's like a person who has full control to that degree, you can get something really good like James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Or you can get something really horrible like the Star Wars prequels.
We'll just have to wait and see on this one.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, though.
Yeah. Thank you for watching and listening to our review and reaction, folks. Be sure to comment below and tell us your thoughts. Are you excited, skeptical, or fuming mad? Tell us in the comments below and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, if you want to go and find our work, go on to film-book.com and search for Taylor Wyatt. You can also find me and Nero on YouTube discussing and analyzing all sorts of animated movies and shows. Follow the link on screen or in the description below. Be sure to subscribe to us and follow our social. If you'd like to support FilmBook though and watch future reaction videos, consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming one of our patrons on Patreon. There's a link to our Patreon page in the description, or you can find us by going to patreon.com and typing in FilmBook. Until the next trailer, thank you and we'll see you then.